Welcome everyone to another episode of Downtime with DX. As always, I'm starting to sound like Robin now, but anyways, I'm your host DX, and this time around I'm joined in the top middle by Colin Johnson, top right Derek Vasconi, bottom left Marberry, and bottom right Mette HP. Welcome everyone.
What's
Thank
up? How
you.
you doing? Big house today.
Yeah,
Lot of people.
yeah. So for once we have the full new crew for this podcast, so this is going to be interesting to say the least. Kind of curious how this one is going to
Well,
go.
it'll be fine because you're running at DX and we all love you and
Thank you.
you've gathered us from all over the world and we got Nova Scotians and Lithuanians and Bosnians and a weird American. I don't know. It'll be
It's going to be
Such an
interesting.
American, like,
fun. Such an American, right? Exactly.
Typical response.
So,
Oh, it was fun. Tone has been set. We carried it from before the show. Continuing
Yep.
it. This is fun. The people
Oh,
have
man.
no clue what we've been talking about.
no,
But it's
basically.
good.
But
I love
it's
this
good,
energy.
Gotta love the energy, and it's going to be interesting. So it's been a week. So
Mm.
anyone has something interesting to share with us that happened the past week? So word language.
Nothing in particular.
well, since both me and Derek wanted to talk about it, we could talk about the Blackpink release.
Ooh,
Let's do it. You go first.
Go for it.
Lovesick Girls. Well, it wasn't a bad song. Let's put it like that. I would even say it was a good song, but it was too safe. So nothing new, so bland that I honestly prefer How You Like That over it, even though I hate How You Like That. So like the song itself kind of reminds me of Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Wanna Have Fun
Yeah,
with
definitely.
a bit more something else mixed in. But it's so nothing new. Like, sure, I'll pop to it when it comes on, but will I listen to it over? Like, girls just want to have fun? Of course not.
Hmm.
Derek, wanna go?
Well, yeah. So like basically it's like this. Like I think ever since Kill This Love, they have do you know, Crazy Girl, do you know if they've had like a different songwriter since Kill This Love? Because
Oh,
quality
no.
has just
Oh, no. All songs until Ice Cream were written by the same guy. All of them. Every single one of them. Ice Cream was their first song not written by Teddy Park.
well, that makes
And
sense
I'm
then
not-
because that's the first one that sucks.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, no offense to the Blinks. I love the
How Do
Blinks,
You Like
but
That was also awful.
no,
To be honest.
it was just there. It was like, oh, let's take the most
Um,
obvious sexual reference we could possibly make in Korea, and let's just give it to the greatest like K-pop group to come out of Korea in years, and let's just really dumb them down. And on top of that, like everything up like from Kill This Love, like Kill This Love was just amazing. Like How You Like That wasn't too bad. Like I mean, it was passable. There was some cool moves. Like Jenny was doing this like one like side move like this. I'll
That's
never
right.
forget that. It was
had
cool, but
cringy ad-libs, but it was, yeah.
it was passable. It was like, okay, it's a girl crush song or whatever. I think I'm correct in saying that, right? Am I correct? It was a girl crush song, yeah. So
Yeah.
even the lowest, crappiest girl crush song, I'm down for because I like girl crush. That's my thing. But if you're gonna do like this, like emotional, powerful song like they just put out, where it's supposed to have this like hard hitting meaning, and we're all in this together and driving a car together, it's like, gee, could you be any more obvious? And then on top of that, it's like it wasn't quirky. It wasn't interesting. Like with Kill This Love, they had all the girls in like the heart shaped bear claw trap that was obvious, but it was interesting because the way it was shot was so weird and outlandish. It worked. And then, of course, the song structure for Kill This Love, it's not conventional. You know, it goes all the way to the end, and you have that weird ending. But then when you listen to all the Blackpink songs, they all kind of follow that format. They all have something funky or weird.
Yeah, true.
Go ahead.
That is actually the Teddy Park formula. Like he has always been like really popular. It's like YG,
Yeah.
like in-house producer, and like that ending that's his signature thing. So that's why all Blackpink songs have had like the same sound, is because, well, they're by the same guy.
Yeah,
sense.
so like for me, like when I write songs, like I have a couple basic rules. One, you start every song differently. Two, you end every song differently. And three, you have something in the middle that's different than every other song. So this way you preserve a sense of originality with every song. And Blackpink managed to kind of do that in every single song. Although they did make it a point of saying Blackpink in your area. And like that was kind of I forgive him because it was fun. It's like live. You don't give a crap about that. Live, you'll a whole stadium will sing that part, and so that's smart. That's a smart thing to inject in every song. But then this like newest song, I'm just like, yeah, it just doesn't work. Like it just felt generic. Like they need to keep creative. You know what I mean? Like Blackpink wasn't the reason why they elevated, aside from the girls being drop dead gorgeous and
Yeah.
extremely talented, but that's kind of like normal for K-pop. Every group is gorgeous and talented, and they all have great rappers. Like aside from that, what made them different was their creative production team.
Right.
Like they didn't just put out a K-pop song, they put out a statement. Like Kill This Love is a statement on how to take a tired genre and make it interesting. And like groups continue to do that in every genre, from J-pop to K-pop, but Blackpink did it so well last year and the year before. They did it so fine. So it's been really sad to see Ice Cream, this new song, just like the hill going down. And again, all love to the Blinks. Like I don't want to consider myself a Blink. I think I'd be doing a disservice to the fans, but I definitely love all of you and I support all of you completely. I love Blackpink. Like I love everything about them
Mhm.
except their new creative direction, which is terrible. And I'm not afraid to say that. And you can criticize us and blast us all you want, but keep in mind, it's just my opinion. It's not the other people here. And two, it's like it's kind of true, and you're lying to yourself if you're just being blindly devoted to them. So before you guys crush our channel here, please understand that. I just think it's not the direction Blackpink should be going. And I think you guys can agree, because what Crazy Girl just said. It's not the same guy making the song, then you can tell it's a world of difference and not a good kind of difference. Do you guys agree?
For me personally, when when Mary sent me the link to the new song from Blackpink, my expectations were really high, to be quite honest, because they had
Me
Boombayah, they
too.
had Kill This Love, which
Mm-hmm.
are both epic songs. And
Mm-hmm.
then I heard the new song, and it felt like, one, it sounded way too familiar, but I couldn't place it. So thank you, Crazy Girl, for mentioning Cindy Lauper. Now I recognize that familiarity.
Ah,
And on the second part,
right.
it felt so bland. I know Blackpink as a group that pushes the limits basically, and this song,
Right.
it stayed way too much in the middle for me personally. It was more like I was expecting so much more, so much different. I was expecting them to again kick against the borders basically from the genre, but it they played it too safe on this one. So the song is not bad, not good, but it's there for me. It's there.
Yeah, like
Even
Kill This
as if
Love.
they are,
No,
and it isn't
go
even
ahead.
as if they are unable to like pull off the more emotional, like soft style, because they have songs like "Playing with Fire,"
Mhm.
Right, which is
that
great.
honestly
Yeah.
my favorite song from them. That is
Yeah.
honestly quite a similar vibe going for it, but it's so much better than Lovesick Girls.
like Kill This Love had trumpets at the beginning. I hate trumpets. I hate them in songs. I hate them. I don't mind people that play trumpets. I played when I was in third grade. I think all power and love and respect to people in the band that play wind instruments, things like that. I hate them in songs. I just hate them. And I can't imagine Kill This Love without it. It's so perfect. And it was like, oh, and it just gets you amped the minute you
Yeah,
hear it. You're like,
exactly.
oh yeah, coming
Here
to
we
the
go.
fight.
Yes.
Like you're walking out to the the title match, and it's just like it works, and then with Playing with Fire, like the thing is like there's just writers that have the ability to write melodies like that. Like they got the pop hook, they understand the hook. Every good song has that hook that nails us. Like Koi Sero Fortune Cookie, one of the greatest hooks ever written in history, as far as I'm concerned. Heavy Rotation, another one, greatest hook ever in history. And like as far as like idols and stuff go, obviously I don't know if you can compare that with like Beatles and Pink Floyd and all that, but whatever. But that aside, like you Playing with Fire, the dun 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 dun, it's you instantly will remember that forever. And like I was at Mary Bad End's studio the other day because we were having a food party for their Patreon members, and Daisuke, their producer, was working on Honami's graduation song, and I heard it, and it was like the minute I heard it, like I got goosebumps, I got a little emotional. It was like that melody that Honami hits with her voice is so powerful and so epic. And I don't even like songs like that. I normally graduation songs are like a big downvote for me. They all suck. But like this one, it's a banger and it's so good. And Honami hits this melody note, this I call it a staircase melody where it's like dun 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 dun, like it goes up and down,
Oh, right.
like you're walking up and down steps. That's my favorite kind of melodies. Like if you can pull that off as a songwriter, you're awesome. Daisuke wrote that like this. Like he hasn't written anything for like 5 months, and then all of a sudden he pulls this out, and I'm just like, dude, took you long enough. Like this is incredible. And when this song comes out, everybody's going to lose their minds. Which, by the way, it'll be available for pre-order at Idol Underworld next week. So just
Awesome.
you know. Anyway, sorry, shameless plug.
That's
But
okay.
but I'm just saying like there's just people that can write like that. Daisuke, the reason why I like Mary Bad End stuff, Daisuke can write songs like that over and over and over again. So, and he's did that for AKB. He's done that for Nogizaka 46. All the songs he's written for AKB and Nogizaka has good melody hooks. So he's applied that to the metal Chica idol world, which is great. And he's wrapped it in like crazy metal, and I love it because those songs should be a little more brutal. And instead, you're singing along, you're having fun. You know, it's pure magic. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I can imagine if it's something that keeps drawing you in, even though it might sound familiar or not. But if it's powerful enough to keep listening to the song over time, and you have that kind of magic as either a composer or a lyricist, then you've got one heck of a weapon, man. You can write for any group, for any
Yeah,
genre, but you'll be succeeding nonetheless, basically. So I applaud it for it, to be quite honest. So I don't have that talent, so.
Because it's metal doesn't mean like it can't be catchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's totally true. Yeah, agreed. I totally agree. There's millions of metal groups that have made a career out of making really catchy metal songs. So yeah, I mean I totally agree. And as a metal guitar player myself, yeah, I hope that's what we write is catchy. So Colin, Colin or Mette, have you guys ever played anything like instruments or anything, or like went like in school, anything like
Yeah,
that?
no.
Yes,
No.
sadly.
Yes.
Too.
What have you done?
It's been a while, but I used to play the guitar,
Whoa, nice, very cool.
so acoustic. And as every child must learn when they're a kid, I could play the recorder.
Ah,
flute.
right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The good old flute or the recorder, yeah.
Very
So-
cool. Did you like it? Did you like playing the instruments?
I did, but I was more into acting when I was younger, or when I was a
Really?
teenager. Yeah.
Really?
So I chose acting over doing instruments actively. Because
How's
that's
that
what I
going?
did. Well, no, I don't
Well,
do
how's
it
that-
anymore.
Oh, why not? That's so awesome.
So I used to be like in a acting school for teenagers, and we were really good for a while. But I'm more happy behind the scenes. So I used to do like assistant director stuff
Right.
That's
and
cool.
audio stuff for plays,
Oh, yeah.
and being more of a support for the younger kids.
Colin, that's kind of like you.
Yeah, I would say so. I recognize that with Mette. I know more things that she does, like with guiding kids, like the one camp that you did. I'm like, yeah, that fits you perfectly. And I would say that I'm like that too. I mean, I did study elementary school teaching, so of course
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
that kind of fits with me. Where I'm like, yeah, I want to help them, and it's amazing to see. I don't need to be on the forefront. I like helping people in general with that too.
Yes.
I would have loved to have had you as my elementary school teacher. I think I would have had so much fun just being your student and like trying to like I could just see us having like cool conversations after class or something. Like you would have been like that cool kid, that cool teacher, and then you'd have been like, "All right, Derek, get out of here. I gotta go home." Like,
Yeah, it's 5. My wife is making dinner. You need to go.
Yeah.
Late for
Sorry,
dinner.
Haven't done anything.
sorry,
but-
All right, Mr. C. Take care, Mr. C.
Bye, bye, little Derek. Bye. Honey, it's gone.
man.
Jesus Christ. I couldn't see that happen. Would I actually do that? Not in your example, but like in general, maybe. You know, if I need to be somewhere, I could see myself like that. It works.
Oh,
Very
man.
cool.
Wow, so interesting, but nonetheless, it's quite fun because for me personally, I used to play the recorder and I played a bit of piano back in my past as well. It's more like it became harder and harder to master songs, so eventually I gave up, and it's more like I haven't played since. So everything I knew in the past is pretty much forgotten. I probably could pick it up if I were to start playing again, but it's more like I highly doubt it's going to happen, and right now I'm just having fun with either programming or learning languages or learning computer languages. Basically, it's more like that takes all of my time nowadays. So it's more like I don't have the time for instruments anymore. So it just got replaced with what I'm doing right now. So it was fun, but I had to move on eventually. So it's a thing from the past, and it's something that has to be closed now. So that's about it.
Very cool.
So in any
Very cool.
case, in any case though, the last week or the past week of past weekend, also Tokyo Idol Festival, which this time around wasn't a live event but rather a streaming event. I did catch some snippet of it. It was really enjoyable to watch, but I couldn't watch the whole thing because it happened on the time that I was busy with either work or doing some chores at home, basically. But did any of you watch the Tokyo Idol Festival?
I did, and I have thoughts. So I'll go first because I haven't said that much. So I only watched. It was the past weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check out, AKB and Team 8. Team 8, fantastic, loved it. Was great. AKB, oh my god. Let me put it this way.
Oh, boy.
The highlight was Taniguchi Megu Center. That was
Oh,
my
wow,
favorite part of
that's
it.
awesome.
Very cool.
That made me very happy. That was very fun. Other than that, they did a good job. I love the costumes. It didn't click with me. I didn't particularly like the set list. The performance was fine. I just I don't know. I was like not interested, not engaged.
What was the set
and
list,
then Team Boshi was the last one. They did a very interesting set list. I need to check that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. One of them was like a really old AKB song, like one of the first 10 before Ogwe Diamond, I think.
Oh wow.
What was the other one? I can't remember. But Team 8, I do remember because I didn't like their costumes.
Oh, okay.
I always have something to complain about the costumes or to praise. But yeah, Team 8, they had their songs. Of course, the Yonjuna no.
Oh yeah, I
I
love
was
that
getting
song.
their moment.
Classic.
But also Sukinanda,
cool.
which, if you do Sukinanda, I am already, very, very happy. Kimi no go Kotora Suki Dakara was also
Yeah,
played. That was
classic.
like, I didn't see that coming, but yeah, awesome. Hachinoso Dance, which is also a song recently by Team 8 that I absolutely love. They did a great job. A very nice sambatsu that they had. That was really fun. But AKB disappointed me. And that's it. I was a little bit disappointed by the fact I was disappointed. So meta disappointment. But it is what it is. But they did do it better with something I mentioned 2 episodes ago when I was last here with Goto Maki from Morning Musume. They did Aitakata, Heavy Rotation, Flying Get, or maybe I reversed, but with the last 2. That was amazing. I loved it. That was great. Goto Maki,
Still got it?
wonderful, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she still got it? Oh wow.
Oh, she still got it. I mean, Yukirin was right next to her, and I'm like, sorry, Yukirin, I'm looking at Goto Maki. She was fantastic. Like she never lost anything. Awesome, fantastic. I loved it. Flying Gat, of course, my favorite song. So I'm like, yes, it's not Koisura Fuchu, Koisura again, which is a song I love, but it's they play it every single time.
It's overplayed.
Yeah, just play it. I love the song. I'm not complaining like other people are. which is granted. I totally get it. It's like, play something else. You get it. You have tons of songs. Play something else. But that was tons of fun. Love the costumes. Great set. Love the set as well. So the two positive ones and then one kind of bad one. But if anyone else watched it, what are your thoughts? Maybe I was the only one who was like, yeah, AKB.
I couldn't make it. So did anyone watch it besides Colin? Or
I saw videos of it.
yeah, something like that. Or...
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Bless
Bless you.
Sorry.
No, but I couldn't make it. So
Okay, I'm the only one to have watched it. It's fine.
Yeah, it was what? Sorry.
No, go ahead. It was fantastic. For the things that I loved.
Did you watch anyone else besides the major idols? Did you watch any Chica?
No, I did not have the time. I did want to watch SKE, but the file didn't want to download on AO. So I was like, you know what? I wanted to do like 2 days to download it, and AKB was like done in 50 minutes. Really weird, but no, I only watched them because I didn't really have the time.
Oh, right on. Yeah, no, I was I had like I've talked about this on my Patreon. Actually, I made it a free video, so anybody, or a free audio, so anybody can download it. Like, you don't have to be part of my Patreon to like listen to it. But I had like a whole day type deal where I was like I think, what was I doing? I had like, it was like all morning to night like activities, and then like I think Hisatsui Momomo's member Minase had her Seitansai live at Rokumeikon, and I was staff for that, and I did something else before that, I can't remember, but that took up a lot of the day, because it was like that was a really busy Seitansai, and I was with Aphrodite, I think, because I've been doing a lot with them. So side note, I just put out the interview for Hisatsui Momo before I came on this post, or this the show, so you guys should check that out. It's on Idol and Chaos.
Where is it?
IdolonChaos.com. So just go to it's an Italian blog site that I do 2 like idol interviews a month, like with them, and that the latest one was Hisats, so or Emo 7 or Emo 7, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so that it was probably the most fun interview I've done since starting this whole thing, because those girls are just absolutely brain crazy. Like they cannot, they're just really crazy. Like it was, keeping them wrangled into the conversation was hard. And then also, like, I was asking, when I asked them, like, well, what do you guys think of each other? Like, one of the members was like, well, you're stupid and you sleep too much. And it was so funny, because she, like, that's like her character. Like, the one girl, her name's Enma. She's like the tough girl, and she has her own group called Bakashinu, and everybody loves Enma. She's got a great voice. Sometimes she plays an Aphrodite too, when Aphrodite's missing a member, because she's just so talented with dancing and singing. But she's real tough, barely says anything. Like, you don't want to mess with her. Like, if you saw her in a dark alley, you'd run the other way. She'll fight you. So, like, real tough girl. And then there's like the real polite, cute, awesome girl Minase, who's like kind of like, if I had an Oshman in the group, it would be her. I've liked her forever, even before I was when I was a fan and not a staff person. And Minase is like real proper, real prim, like she's Showa idol. She's like, oh, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. And so Minase really loves Enma. Like, and Enma's like, get away, like, you little bug. And it's basically like, it was so funny, because during Minase Seitansai, during the encore, they were doing this one part and their one big song where all of the girls stand in a row and they headbang together. And in Japan, when you headbang, you usually like lock your arms with the other person, and then you like you go like this together. And Enma was here and Minase was here, and she went to touch Enma, and Enma was like pushed her away and like just walked out of the whole thing and just walked away from her. It was so funny. But then like when Enma was doing Bakashino, like, she also performed as Bakashino that night, she had Minase come out and perform with her. So it's just like passive aggressive love, I guess. It's just funny because it's like her whole character. But in the interview, she kind of talks like, Minase's like, I was like, well, do you guys hang out with each other outside? And she's like, Minase's like, I would love to hang out with Enma. She's just so cool. And Enma's like, yeah, I don't want to hang out with you. She's like, I don't.
Ooh, like, seriously,
like, I don't really like any of these girls. That's just work relationship only. And it's just like, I love you. And all the girls are cracking up because she's like, that's her character, So, and then the girls are trying to be like funny. Well, they're not trying to be funny. They are funny. But then a couple of girls trying to be super serious with their answers. And then the other girls just keep cracking up because they're like, the one girl's like, you're being so serious. Why are you being serious? Like, you're normally stupid. It's just like, it's just hysterical. And then before the interview, there's like I filmed them, okay, at Akiba Colors, their home base venue in Akihabara. It's like the size of a small apartment in Japan. There's like no room in there. They actually have two gakyas, two backstages. There's actually three technically. One is basically like a shoji screen and like a little corner of the one area, and then there's an actual gakya, and then but they have huge taibans there. You have like 40 idols there, so it's like they have a whole other apartment space rented, like an office area, and all the girls go there, and then a lot of times they'll move Bupan there. Like if it's Hego Bupan, which is middle Bupan, that means like, let's say you're in a Taiban and you play third, and the last group is like 8 hours later, you'll do Hego Bupan, which is it'll save you time. You can go do that, and then you can go to another show, or you can be done, whatever. So they do Hego Bupan over at this other place, and I did the interview there, and it looks like a schoolroom. So there's this big easel in the back, or like a drawing board, a chalkboard or whatever. And all the girls before the interview started drew these crazy pictures. So when you watch the interview, if you guys check it out, like you'll see that these girls actually took the time, and they were real serious about it too. I should have filmed that because they were really having heated discussion about how to make their characters look on this board for like 20 minutes. I had to wait for them. They're insane. Sorry, that was a whole long tangent, but I thought you guys would appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a fun to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to listen to somebody talk about something they're passionate about. So it was nice.
Much obliged.
But
Much
Maribel,
obliged.
how is like working relationship and private relationship on the K-pop side of things? Is this something similar or?
Good seg.
Well,
Good seg, DX.
honestly, I think like in K-pop, like it goes both ways. Like a lot, I think depends on the interviewer, like and how much time the others have. Because in K-pop, like the schedules tend to be a lot more tighter, so there really isn't that time to spend 20 minutes discussing what to draw on the board. Like if there has been time set before to draw on the board, then they can do it. But otherwise, it would be like it's an interview and that's that. So yeah, schedules are just tighter, and it's can't really get away with that
Well,
much.
true. That's a given. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
we've seen what happened with during the Produce 48 days and such. Like there was the training time, and then you have shows like Ice One Two where they show a bit of private time, but not too much. So I was kind of wondering if how it would go behind the scenes without the camera rolling, basically, because right now shows like Ice One Two and the like are pretty much like a situation kind of thing. So the camera is there and the girls do their stuff, but you never know how it is without the
Well,
camera, you know?
from what I've heard, K-pop idols, if they have free time, they usually just sleep because they have such tight schedules. They have to wake up so early to get their makeup done and everything. So if there is like more than like 10 minutes of free time, they will sleep, and that's just how.
Wow. That's yeah. We
Like
know it's yeah. We know K-pop is really rough, but yeah, it
like I've
still
seen
baffles me
like
it still baffles me to this point, to be quite honest. So it's more
there's
like
a show in Korea where they like follows managers around of different artists and idols and actors to like see like what's behind the scenes like and what they have to deal with. And on one episode where there was an idol manager, it was straight up like take mattresses with them to waiting rooms like that you can roll open. And it's literally like, okay, roll them open, everybody just goes to sleep, and then one by one they are woken up to get their makeup done. And
wow.
See.
Yeah, it's so packed, to be quite honest. So even like night shows and such, it's more like how about when they're in transit to different shows? Are they allowed to sleep then, or do they have to stay awake like in the car or something like that?
oh, they can sleep. Like I know some idols also like play mobile games or like that, or just chat if they like really aren't sleepy, but they can sleep. I think Mamamoo even has a song about like sleep in the car,
Oh
and
wow.
it's about and it's like a joke song where they argue about who has it the best and who has it the worst, because like they have like an order in which to get their makeup done, and they're like, well, I have to sleep in the car, and like my makeup gets all smudged, and it's all, and like my skin suffers because I get my makeup done first, and the other's like, yeah, but I get my makeup done last, and that's bad as well, and it's just, it's like a fun song about arguing about it.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, in the Japan side, like I think for the major idols, we've seen that, haven't we, with AKB? Do you guys remember Mukaichi
Oh
Miyone's
right.
like
Yes, you are so
one
busy.
day?
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
man.
Mm.
Yep. Oh, AK
Yeah,
Bingo.
like
That's a while ago, man. I'm like, yeah. I remember now. Yeah, it was fun.
But
yeah,
there
that
was
was
yeah.
yeah.
There was such a big
Uh,
difference between like a relatively unknown
mm,
member and Mukaichi Mion. It was such a
Mm-hmm.
difference in schedule, I would say. The unknown
Oh yeah.
member, she had so much free time, whilst Mion, she was like pretty much a K-pop idol, busy 24/7 basically. So it was like wow, I never knew it could differ that much, but the insight back then was so great, and it's not that different on the K-pop side, depending on the idol apparently. So it's more like really interesting to be quite honest. So it was unexpected as well. So
I mean, at the same time, I don't necessarily like. I mean, yeah, I mean, speaking from experience, it sucks not getting any sleep and like constantly being busy. But I think like those that choose to do great things in the world, that's part of the deal in most cases. Like there's a reason why like you look at some presidents when they enter the office for the first year, by the time they leave, they don't look like that anymore because they get no sleep, they're constantly being stressed out and worried, things like that. Not talking about the current president. That's a whole other issue
yeah.
for us Americans. But like I remember Obama when he like first came into office, dude looked young and like good. Time he came out, he looked gray and old. Like he was like, I 8 years was enough for me. And I think it's true with idols, it's true with artists. Anybody that chooses to not be lazy, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right word because that sounds so negative, but anybody that chooses a path or the path chooses them to walk that path or run that path, there's no time to sleep because walking
Well,
and running both require you to stand up.
but there is still like a line between like being like hardworking and being overworked, because like Twice, for example, in 2018, I think they had 8 releases in 1 year. And like by the end of the year, one of the members had developed an anxiety disorder. The members were overall just physically and mentally exhausted. Like there is a line that shouldn't be crossed.
True.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like nobody should be considered to be treated like a slave. I mean, slave contracts are pretty epic and historic in K-pop, as well as J-pop. Although J-pop's it's a little more insidious. It's a little more subtle in that sense. Like it's there, it just isn't as openly there, I think, as K-pop's contracts are. But again, like we've had this discussion, what last time or the time before? Like they sign up, you don't like it, quit. And if you have to pay money, so be it. But the point is, it's like if you're doing something great, like I just said, walking and running require you to stand up, not sleep, not lay down. That's
And
that's
like
how you get something.
there is a long history in K-pop of idols like taking that step, like okay, our company has gone too far, and like the
Right.
most known ones are of course from big companies like EXO, who have been at one point with the biggest boy group. Like they had 3 members do the company and leave. Like
Mm.
what there's been so much, but SM has actually had a lot of like TVXQ, who are actually really popular in Japan as well. Oh, Donban Shinji, I think, yeah. They
Mhm.
had 3 of their 5 members actually leave and create their own group. And
Wow. Cool.
that, yeah, that group, the group is actually blacklisted in Korea, meaning they can't appear on television, which is another
Mm.
thing, yeah, in K-pop blacklisting. I don't know if they have it in J-pop. Probably. I don't know.
I mean, I know on our end, like you can't really get blacklisted unless you really make somebody unhappy and
Yeah, true.
here. But on the major levels, who knows? I mean, major, it's a whole different world. On the underworld, we're all family. You know, we all know each other. It's like you mess up on one place down the line, everybody knows or will hear about it. So people are very careful not to mess up as best they can. And if you do, you do. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's more forgiving, but it's a little more like you have to do something really bad to get banned. You know what I mean? Like there are some people I know that are banned, but yeah, it's not, I think, as big of a deal maybe as it would be in the upper major stuff, you know, like K-pop and whatnot.
The ones who like break contract with really big companies, though they tend to be blacklisted. So like the 3 members who left TVXQ,
Sure.
J-Park actually, who's a really popular rapper, is blacklisted from like way back to 2000. And if you cross the big companies, you're done.
You know what's interesting about that though is like, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, DX. I just want to say that I think K-pop would be very cool to have its own like Chica world, like its own under sub niche world of K-idols. So like you get blacklisted from major, big deal. Just go to the minors, you know, just go play the basement clubs of Korea if there are any, and like, you know, they should create their own little sub community. That's how this world came about, you know, when you know, poor Louis, like, you know, from BIS, like, was like, you know what, screw AKB, screw all those major idols. I want to do something that's totally opposite. It's idol, but it's like giving the middle finger to all the big idols. And so this whole industry sort of sprung up as a result in so many ways. I mean, there were other groups kind of thinking the same thing at the same time, but like she's the one that really pioneered that thought process. And so I wonder why I don't know, people watching this, if you are aware, is there a subculture of underground Korean idols? I don't know. Is there? Like,
I've never heard of it existing. Because if it does, it must be very hidden.
you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Look, once again, I'm innovating and
invent it. You should go to Korea and invent it.
Well, that would be interesting. Yeah.
I had no interest. No interest. Korea's too scary.
Although the Korean people might just be too conservative for that, because like the standards in K-pop are high because the society expects them to be that perfect, and that kind of thing. Well, maybe it could work, but it's a big giant if, because like if you aren't perfect, you will get hate, and even if you are perfect, you will still get hate because you will act like a machine and you don't seem like a real person. So honestly,
well, I mean, you know, the interesting thing about that though, it's a weird contradiction. If you look at Japanese major idols, let's take AKB for example. Outside of their little like run with doing like endless Mizugi like swimsuit MVs, after they stopped doing that, I mean, they all were dressing like they were part of band, like high school bands, like all their whole outfits. They're all high school band outfits, basically. True. And that, you know, you would think, oh, they're very conservative, but then Japan is like has the highest output of pornography in the world. And then you go to Korea, you can't. There's no pornography. Like it's like illegal. Yeah, but then the K-pop idols dress like they're prostitutes in so many ways. I mean, they show everything. Isn't that interesting? But yet they're the conservative ones.
Of what the producer actually said about the first season of Produce 101. He basically called it porn, but like acceptable to the public. Yeah.
Right. Weird, right? But they're the conservative ones. Interesting.
It's like, well, yeah, I guess so. It really is weird because like there is a very clear line. Not even like it isn't even clear, but there's like this line, and if you cross it, the Korean people will go ballistic on you. Like at your own concerts, you can do whatever you want. That's like for you and your fans. Mm-hmm. But if you dare go on public TV and like show too much, oh god! Like keep mentioning Mamamoo, but Mamamoo's Hwasa, she was wearing like this kind of a swimsuit-esque looking thing, and oh god, the hate she got. But Korea has a tendency to hate on anything and everything, so.
But wasn't there an outcry because
Go ahead,
of was it their outcry because of Honey Popcorn back in a while ago? Because all the members were
So they're
former,
blacklisted.
they got
Oh, I'm
blacklisted.
pretty sure they're backlit. Yeah. Oh, nobody says it. Like there isn't like a list posted on the internet or some door saying these are the blacklisted ones. But I'm pretty sure they are blacklisted.
No, because I remember reading an
Blacklist.
article because Korean netizens were like, yeah, they can't be allowed to perform here in Korea because they were former JAV actresses and the like, and it was like, what kind of, well, yeah, what kind of garbage reasoning is that? But never knew they were that set on not showing skin on any TV people apparently. So there was a whole
Well,
backlash back
yeah,
then. So
yeah, but like I've watched Korean movies and dramas and things like that. They do show quite a bit. Like when it calls for it. There have been definitely a lot of like basically porn without like showing the porn stuff. I mean, but everything up to and including almost, and even in some case simulating. And it's like it's interesting because Korea is definitely marching towards, I think, maybe being a little more liberal, I guess would be the word, a little more open about their values as far as like, well, we can join the rest of the modern world and say we can have adult videos and things like that, and we're not going to go to hell as a society, but because we're just going to watch it anyways on the internet. Like it's not like it's banned there. So it's just like that kind of thinking trickles down into entertainment too, being the K-pop world. I just find it fascinating that every single K-pop at MV you see, those girls look like they are going out to the club at 3:00 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
The lines
Like it's
are
just
weird. Like who knows how they decide what is allowed and what isn't? Because like it's
right.
the same with song lyrics. There are so many songs that have like the most minute of swears that are banned from some TV stations because it's like they say "damn" in that song. That's not allowed.
Wow.
wow,
Some groups actually like make it broadcast acceptable lyrics. Like TVXQ's really popular song "Neurotic." It has the lyrics. I've got you under my skin, and that wasn't acceptable. So they have I've got you under my sky, I think, or something like that.
wow.
Who decides that? The government? Does the government decide?
I think it's the big
TV?
TV stations. Like, of course, every TV station decides their standards for that themselves, but they tend to always be very strict. Like, it wasn't just that
Ain't
long
that
ago when dyed hair was banned on TV stations.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, exactly. So in other news, though, we heard a couple of teasers from Thailand actually with the new group, the new subunit Lyra. Mette,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, it looks really cool. It looks like it's going to be. Well, I was guessing the last time it was going to be Girl Crush, and it looks like it now for sure. And it's coming out on Wednesday, so there's posting the MV at 6 o'clock local time in Thailand.
Oh wow.
And I'm so excited. Ugh, but I can't watch it immediately because I'm in class. But I can't wait to see it. They worked so hard for so long, and they've been juggling school. They've been doing the theater stage rehearsals, auditions for that, and then Lyra.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I can't wait.
Same.
Well,
I can't wait either. I don't watch teasers. I really tried not to watch any kind of teasers. I
What?
just want to watch the full thing. Said a bunch of times, but I really look forward to that. I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but let it be seen, and then we'll see what it is. I'm very interested.
Well, they've been really hands-on on doing it too, like in the process of making the MV, of choosing the concept. So it's not just been like pre-made for them from the start.
Wow.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing them getting to do their own thing, and it's so different from Mimigumo, who haven't released music for like a year now
Yeah,
or
it's been
something.
a while actually. Yeah, it's been a while actually.
I miss them. I hope they come back to.
This
But
topic, you said you don't know what it's going to be, but what do you want it to be? Like, what do you hope from it?
So the members in Lyra are maybe the more cool members from BNK, or a bunch of them at least. And when you see Janice and Pun together, and you have Fond, I want them to do something that really shows off their skills. because usually, you know, in AKB48 or 48 music, you have the formation,
Yeah.
and there isn't quite that much room, especially not in MVs, for individuality as much.
Uh-huh.
And I really want them to have a chance to show off more of themselves than what
But,
they've been
yeah.
able to before.
In what way though? Like their visuals, their dancing, their techniques?
I think it's going to be a dance-heavy MV. I do think so, based on the teaser pictures. But I don't know from the visuals, because they're named after a star constellation, and yeah, I just want them to do their best and be like the new cool group and be something new and showing off something we haven't already seen from BNK.
Okay, what? I forget the name. What was the old group with Akimoto Sayaka, Miyazawa Sai?
Diva.
Diva. That's it. Maybe like Diva. I can see that.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would be
I
interesting
think so.
actually, yeah.
Definitely. But speaking of Aki P, you know, there's coming a new show to Thailand soon.
Really?
Last Idol.
I
They're
heard
starting
that.
up.
Really?
Oh
Yeah,
wow, the same
they
like
are.
the oh wow. Really?
It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing as Last Idol
Oh wow.
in Japan. And I heard from the press conference that they're doing, there's going to be a smaller group than the Japanese group, because that one is really big.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, they're huge.
Mhm.
But they're going to have maybe 7 something members, but their first song is going to be a Last Idol song translated into Thai.
Ooh.
That makes sense.
And the fun thing about this is that we get to see the idols you don't usually get to see from Thailand. Because at least for me, you know, the easiest thing is to see BNK, CGM. Those are the groups I like. But now you get to see like Sweat Dream, and more of the smaller groups gets to come out from the woodworks and be a part of the big stage.
But is there a big
Very cool.
is there a large group of smaller lower level idols in comparison to BNK and CGM, like a division lower in a way?
Well, yeah, there is. Well, I don't know how big or small the actual numbers is, but the idol industry in Thailand the last, I want to say like 4 or 5 years, has really grown. There are a bunch of like medium level that you don't necessarily always see on television. But, you know, they have MVs, they have fans, they do handshake events, two-shot events. They have MVs you can find and shows you can find on Facebook, on YouTube. It depends on what you want.
Oh wow. Do you have any favorites so you yourself have any favorites from there? Anything we
Not
should know
really
about?
yet. I've seen like a bunch of MVs lying around just when people have said, oh, you should check them out, oh, you should look at them. But I haven't been able to pick someone, mainly because there's so little translated stuff out there. And if I'm supposed to get to know someone, especially still in Thai, I depend on help.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But,
Same here.
yeah.
But maybe our viewers can give us some recommendations on the
For sure.
yeah, for the Chica idols from Thailand, because I'm interested and I sure as hell know Derek is interested as
True.
well. So
Yeah, of course.
so it would be interesting to
Sounds great.
see something like that, to be quite honest, because well, it's more like it's always fun to to listen to the mainstream, but going underground is really interesting, which I have discovered for myself while I was in Japan. I was attending a couple of shows with Derek and really liked some of the shows I attended. So it's more like it's fun to go under the surface in a way. So it's quite interesting, to be quite honest. So it's more like, yeah,
Agreed.
I could definitely do more of that. I was planning to do this year, but yeah, the whole pandemic thing happened, so my trip to Japan got pretty much
Little
cancelled.
pandemic. A little pandemic.
Little
Yeah.
thing.
So that was rather unfortunate, to be quite honest. So yeah,
Yeah, this thing happened, and yeah, we weren't able to. Yeah, no one was able to do anything.
Nah, Trump will fix it. Don't worry.
hopefully.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
You're right.
after he overcomes it, he's gonna totally fix everything. You're totally right. We're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Those 4
What a
years
piece of
was his trial run.
guy
He's
is.
just getting used to everything, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Ugh.
other news, SKE had their anniversary, right, Colin? Anything happened on
Oh,
that?
yeah. Well, today I say today, but it's like the 4th, I think, or the 5th of October, and they had their 12th anniversary festival. I didn't really watch it, just didn't have the time for it today. But I saw that they did like a few songs, like really few. But something interesting happened that I was like, something! Oh my god, there's something! Well, they promoted the Kankyuseis to official teams, but also they announced the 27th SKE single to be released spring next year, with the center being Matsui Jurina as her probably final song with SKE, at least. If she's going to be AKB center, maybe, who knows. Which happened also with Sashi, for instance.
Sashi.
So maybe we'll also get an AKB 2 songs, with Jurina last center being in the group, kind of with like Sashi. I am interested in it. It will be taking a while before it will be released, but it is at least something to look forward to. But something that can be watched relatively soon is that Matsui Jurina, like Kashiwaki Yuki, Yokoyama Yui, Shiroma Miru, she's now doing a YouTube channel, which is
nice.
Something I think she wanted to do that one for a while. I think she expressed interest earlier this year, and now she's finally going to do it. She has been very busy, I think. So it's interesting. It's something. Let's see what she brings. Miru is fun. Trust me, people. Go to Shiroma Miru. You're gonna have a blast. She is absolutely bonkers. It is hilarious. Most recent video, she's dressed like a cow. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. She's a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah,
but it's Mirror, so it's very charming as well. So I have no clue what Jurina will do. But it's something.
Well, I might know.
Oh,
please tell.
Yeah.
Because, well, I don't know if she's going to use YouTube for this, but if you follow CGM, you know that Jurina did 2 live streams with CGM48.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's been talking about, well, at the last of the 2, she wanted to do like more collabs with other members from international groups, more like kind of interviews types of settings. And I think that might be a better place to do it than do it on IG Live.
That's true.
Probably.
She has expressed that before. I remember that now, and I'm like, oh yeah, she did that too. That could be very interesting. It's something. It could be fun. She likes that. I know. It's one of those things where we know that she likes that, but not. It tends to be a while before something comes out of it. So I hope that I hope she will do that. That's fun. That's something that Jurina really loves to do. So I really hope it's interesting. No one has really done that before. Thinking in my head. Not really, I think. Sometimes, it doesn't really count. But Kojima Haruna did like a video recently with Shinoda Mariko.
Yeah.
Seems like a month ago already. But that's always fun. So I hope that Jurina will do fun stuff. It's Jurina. It's kind of like Mirror is like it's going to be fun.
So you think she's going to be more on the producer side after she graduates? Any thoughts on that?
I can see her doing that. Jurina is the type of person to do that. She's one of those people that is hands-on, but she tends not to do it either because she isn't allowed to or anything. At least that's the impression that I get. She really seems like the kind of young girl, woman, who really likes to do that kind of stuff. So I really hope she does that. It's one of those things you need to freedom, kind of like with Sashi. Now she's not really with HKT anymore. She can do all that stuff. She's always busy, always doing something. So I can see Jurina doing that. Maybe not as successful as Sashi. I will admit that because Sashi is great.
Sashi is
if she
unbeatable
touches something,
way.
it's gold.
Yeah,
she is absolutely good, really good at that. I don't know with Jurina. She does have that. The fans, which may be really in her favor, but we'll see. I look forward to it. I can see her doing that, but who knows what will happen? I don't know. I don't know with her.
Any thoughts on the IS-1 side of things? Because I remember talking to you, Marbe, about Sakura wanting to write or even produce something like that.
Like, IS-1, especially the Japanese members, have been so involved with writing lyrics, and recently I'm like on the new album 12 coming out. Sakura even helped with producing one of the tracks. I can't remember which one it is, but like she's so excited to get released. Like she's been hyping it up on her radio show. And Sakura also did the Japanese lyrics for Fiesta, the Japanese version. Hitomi did the Japanese lyrics for La Vie en Rose. So they've really been popping off with that. It's really so amazing to see.
Well, Derek, you want to say something before I cross it? Derek?
No, it's fine. It was fine. I was just gonna say that I think Jurina has like a deep need to be on the screen and perform. You know, she's a born, I mean, literally a born performer. She's been performing her whole life. Either she's gonna go a different direction and be like, I want a husband and forget all that. But we know from the documentaries that doesn't seem to be her motivation.
No.
She is the last. She is our last remaining queen in the AKB world and seems to be forever destined to be known as the last one since never seemed, I don't think the Senki is coming back. So she has that distinction. But then also, she's just one of those girls, I think, you know, since she's been performing since a kid, that's what she knows. Like I know idols in my world that like they've been performing since they're 14 and they're 24, 25 now, and they don't know how to do anything else. And they're scared actually about that. Like I can't, like one girl I know, she's like, I can't work a konbini store job even. Like I can't do it. I don't have the mental capacity to do it. But this girl on stage, bigger than Mount Fuji, you know, in terms of her character, her fan base, the way she controls an entire room of people with her voice, her ability, her personality. She can't even hold, you know, a normal job. And so I think Jurina's in that camp. Although the good thing about Jurina is she's super famous. So, you know, she's never gonna be in a position where she has to go work a konbini.
Nope. Doubt it.
I can never imagine that. And B, she's super talented. Like we've seen Jurina create magic out of nothing on a late night podcast or you know, late night video one time, if you guys remember.
Oh yeah,
So it's like
wow.
this is a girl who can do anything, and she has done everything. She won the Junkin, she's won the Susanko. She's the only person to have that distinction, by the way. You know what I mean? She's just done it all. You know, she's been a center of a major group. You know, now I mean, it's just like I don't know, like the sky's the limit for her. So for her to do something like this, my big thing is it just seems too small for her. But I also feel like maybe right now that's all she can do because again, COVID's sort of reset everybody in their priorities. So
Yeah,
maybe that's all
exactly.
she can do.
But Jurina is also known to go all out all the time, which caused her to have a hiatus. We know that. I think it
Always.
still happened twice actually. Once in the past when she was being pushed for the first time, and right after she won Sasenkyo basically when she was on a little hiatus. So she really needs to learn how to.
Little.
She needs to learn to control her pace basically because I don't want to see her going to go in a third burnout basically because she's way younger than any of us and she's already had 3 burnouts basically. It's like
Like I don't have any direct connection to Jurina. You know, I mean, Daisuke does work with her and does work with SKE and you know, he's just worked with all the AKB girls and stuff, and I've had some interesting experiences along those lines in like vicariously with him and the AKB girls. That's all I can say. But I'll say like from what I've heard and through the grapevine of the staff world, you know, Jurina's pretty solid. You know, she's a solid girl. She's a solid person. And I feel like she will land wherever she wants to land in life. She's just one of those people, and she gets it done. Now, as far as like having management and staff around her that I think could help her get to where she needs to go and keep her on the path, who knows? You know, AKB has had a questionable line of staff, you know, working for them. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, crazy girl?
I absolutely agree. Like, I can't see Jurina like graduating from AKB and then like just sitting with her hands left, like I don't know what to do anymore, and like
No.
I can't imagine her doing like she will set a goal for herself. Like she will know where she wants to be and go, and she will do everything to get there. Like the only thing, like I think she needs is like a set of staff next to her who will keep her from going overboard and be like, okay, it's midnight and the lights are going off in the practice room.
But I also could see Jurina like later in life as like the super mom at the playground where she gets all the other moms in the neighborhood together and she's the leader of them and she's like making sure all the kids like she knows everybody's business and she's like that. She would be the center mom. Like you'd have like the Maida Atsuko little camp over here, the Marco Shinoda camp over here, and then you have the Jurina camp here. And Jurina would make sure her camp of moms are better than Maida's and Mariko's camp. And like she would just be that. She's gonna be that mom in life. Like if she hadn't been an idol, she would have been that mom right now, probably, even as a young girl that she is. Because I think that's. I mean, again, I don't know her. This is all presumptuous, so forgive us, Jurina, if we're just having a fantasy moment here. But I just feel like I feel like that really is her. I could totally see her showing up at the playground and being like, hey, Tomoko, you better get your son in check because, he's been messing with that girl and, we can't have that here. I could totally see her doing something like that, like the very Japanese families sort of way that they like, you got to see the power moms. Like I live next to like a little playground park. There's power moms that like they'll line up their baby strollers, they'll let their kids around and they'll just sit there and blah, 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 and I just watch them and I just start laughing because it's like they're like a gang. It's like a mom gang of Japanese ladies, and I'm telling you, Jurina would be the head of it. She would.
Wow.
You know she would.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on that note, we've already passed the hour mark. So, any recommendations for next week that we should follow? Besides, I'll leave the BNK one for Mettes and Colin. So, anything else we should watch on the upcoming week? Colin.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, is there's something? Nemosu is back.
Oh.
And yeah, it's on the 5th episode, I think, aired Sunday. I want to say 4 or 5. But it's fun. It's something, and I also really like Nemosu. So you can always check that. Other than that, I don't think there's any particular thing coming up except the things that we kind of already alluded to, like Jurina's YouTube channel and what already exists. But if someone can jog my memory, that's awesome. So I would say Nemosu, if you have the time, 20 minutes, it's always good. Something to watch while having dinner or something.
Marberry, anything we should watch?
Ice wants Cheon. She already had like a dance cover come out on Studio Choom, and in 5 days there will be like a follow-up documentary about her passion of dancing and how she got to be where she is now and all that. So definitely look forward to all that. She's just amazing. It deserves all the love in the world.
Awesome. Mette.
Yeah, so Lyra is on Wednesday. So please check that out and follow along. And other than that, there isn't too much happening this week. And next week there is the handshake. I think it's next weekend. I think the handshake event for CGM48 is back.
Ooh.
We had the handshake event for BNK this weekend, and it's a full-on handshake event after doing like a trial run of mini handshake events, and it went really well.
Awesome.
So good. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the CGM one goes.
Awesome. Derek, take the floor. Go for it.
Yeah, well, Mary Bad End members, Honami is going to be graduating here very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Her last show is at Nishi Fukujam, a place where she kind of started her idol career. And we're all kind of very sadly marching towards that. But in light of that, we are doing an online live Checky signing session for all foreign fans on the 9th, and that'll be at night, probably like 7 or 8.
Ooh,
and
awesome.
You can go to Idol Underworld and purchase your Checky tickets, and then they'll actually sign the tickets and talk to you if you're there on the stream. We'll probably have it on Twitcast or YouTube, probably Twitcast because it's like the easiest for us to do. But yeah, that'll be there. I'll be very poorly there translating there as well, like attempting to translate the girls. They get too crazy. Like I can't follow along because they really, once they get going, those 3 girls, it's like it's impossible to understand them because they're in their own little world. And that's not because I suck at Japanese. They just go so fast. But I will be there to try to help. And if you guys want to say goodbye to Honami, you can do that. I think it would be nice. She's given a lot to the foreign fan base this past year through working with me, and I've gotten to know her very well. She's actually making the costumes for the idols I'm producing. That's kind of what Honami wants to do later in life is to just make idol costumes. And she's already made a ton for a bunch of groups, and she's incredible. And she has a really creative mind. And I think she's making the right choice for herself by doing that, because that's where our heart's at. We all love her. There's no bad blood. She'll probably be hanging out with us at event, places. I assume, but you never know with Idol, because Idols, once they're here today, gone today. So I may only see her when I need a costume or something. Other than that, my documentary is still in like edit mode. My editor continues to be busy with other things, I guess, but also still working on it. We did complete one more part, but I still am very much wanting to get it out this month. So I do want to release the trailers. It's just been an incredibly busy week for me. As to that, you can go to my Patreon and check out what I've been doing, because I've talked about that quite regularly. I was thinking about doing another post because today, for example, I worked on a song for one of the idols, and that was an interesting process I could talk about if anyone's interested. Other than that, please check out the Idol on Chaos blog site, because we just put up an interview with Hisatsu Imomomo 7. They're a group that I love very much. I'm very close to them, and they gave me one of the best and most fun interviews I've ever done in my life. So, because they're crazy. Like they are legit crazy, and they're funny, and they fight with each other in like the most adorable way, and they just don't act like you should act in an interview. But here's the fact. Almost every single group I have interviewed since I started this almost the beginning of this year, I'm their very first person that's ever done an interview with them. So
wow.
many of these girls have never been on camera before in an interview capacity. I'm talking some of the biggest idols in Japan as far as the underworld goes. They've never been on a camera. No one's ever bothered to sit down and ask them about their story. So Andrea, who runs Idol and Chaos, Andrea's doing an amazing job promoting Idol. I really support that, and that's why I'm doing this with Andrea. Please go there. And also the two interviews that I did another two. They're going to be coming out very soon, and I got one more coming. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So that being said, please, if you can, go to Idol in the World and help support these idols, because it's a lot of work for them too. And they are actually pretty busy. Crazy Girl, like a lot of these girls have intensely crazy schedules. They do find time to have fun, especially the Momo girls. They somehow always find a way to make a party no matter where they go. Like them and Zombie Powder are like the two groups. Yeah, them and Zombie Powder are like the two groups. When they're in the building, it's a party. Like, you can hear Zombie Powder in the backstage laughing and screaming and howling at themselves, because they live in their own little bubble of humor. So that being said, check out all these groups and check out what we're talking about. DX, thank you as always for doing this and for reviving this. Thank you everybody that writes all these awesome comments, and I'm having so much fun reading them and laughing at some of them, because some of them are really funny. But I really thank you, coworkers here, or co I don't know what to call you guys.
Co-hosts.
Hosts, yeah, co-host. And other than that, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to blab about. So
Okay.
yeah, we're
Before
done.
saying goodbye, I want to say happy birthday to Joshua from the Slow Podcast. It's his birthday today, actually.
Ooh, happy birthday!
Josh, I love Josh. Josh is so amazing. Josh gave me my very first attempt at trying to make a documentary. He came to my apartment and he interviewed me and made it all beautiful and amazing. I was gonna put on Patreon, or Kickstarter like years ago. And Josh came to Japan, and he's my very first like I worked with him to get interviews with all a bunch of like
Wow,
idols.
awesome.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I just started as a staff, but because Josh pushed me and motivated me to do that, me and him got together here in Japan, and he, we did like Lily Kaona, we did Always See Me Hologram, and we did all Broken by the Scream, who are like huge now. That's all Josh, and now Josh is working with. He has a couple idols on his show, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did actually. He had Emika Kameda from former NMB48.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. I mean, well,
Just
Josh,
amazing.
if anybody should it deserves it's Josh. He lives, eat, and breathes Idol. He's a great dude. If you want to have a fun time, go check out his channel because he does these intense deep dives into photo books. And I've learned so much from him watching those that I decided to do my own photo books, and like I have an idea of concept and everything, because he really, like, Josh is great, man. He's just like, I don't know. I can't say enough about him. Happy birthday, bro.
And with that, we've come to the end of this week's episode of Downtime with DX. So I would say, bye everyone.
Bye, Josh. Happy birthday.